on every streaming service possible. And
Hey.
okay, all right, I already did all that. Why is it? Here we go. Wait a second. Go live. Okay. All right, and we're live. Welcome y'all to the Lucid Voices stream, the Lucid Voices podcast. I am the host with your most, the Quiet Storm, aka Sincerely Donnie. At some point in my life, I'm gonna get this intro together. But not today. Okay, so we're gonna figure that shit out. But before I start anything, I want to introduce my friend, my sister, um, an incredible poet. She got a book. She is a blogger, an amazing mom. She hosts open mics in her own hometown of Kingston. I need y'all to say hello to my sis, Antonya Barnes.
Hey,
Yay! Insert the clap button and all that stuff, whatever. All right, Nia. So this is how first things first. I always start off with asking, what got you into poetry and why are you doing poetry now?
um, so I did poetry like in high school. Kind of like I did like a creative writing class. I was like, okay, cool, I like it. It didn't really go anywhere after that. I would just write for like therapy purposes. And then my mom passed, and I kind of just like kept writing. That was like my therapy, my way to express myself. Um, and then I met Mark Davis, the photographer, and Shakima, and they had the little online blog Threads
Yep.
that they were doing, and Mark was just like, "Do you write?" And I'm like, "Yeah, right. Like I don't write for people, but I write. Like everybody writes." And he's like, "All right, let me hear something." So I wrote him something, and then on the blog I got like 500 views, and I'm like, "Oh, like my stuff is good." Like I never ever let anybody read my stuff, so that was very very new for me. So I really just started like on their blog, like genuinely like writing like my feelings, like things that are relatable, not relatable. And then from there, I met Donnie. I actually met Donnie and did my first. I did my first open mic. It was the hip hop. Um,
Oh, I remember that.
yes, that was my very first time ever performing. Freaking writing a poem the day of. Um,
I tell you
and
about.
from it was an adrenaline rush for me. I feel like from that day, because of Donnie, I currently write today. I do open mics today because of
Stop.
Donnie.
Stop.
For
Stop.
real, for real,
I'm
for real. I
blessed with
swear to
that.
God, if it wasn't for you, like yo,
Mhm.
like are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it? I'd have been like forever, like no, 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 no. And then I finally did it, and I was like, oh, I actually like this, and I don't sound crazy up here, like
You don't. Yeah, you're gonna make a thug cry.
yeah, my big bro that got me on the stage and stuff.
That's what I.
But
That's the superpower, man. That's what we do over here. Go ahead, continue. My bad.
yeah, no, it was. I mean, that's really what kicked it off. I feel like you're like little like push like yo,
Mm-hmm.
come on, like I know you're right, I see you right, and I'm just like yeah, but and then I finally went there and I
Hmm.
seen you and you was like I'm like I'm nervous and you're like all right if you know if you're nervous that means you care and I'm like bet. I went up there, I did my piece, I was like shaking. I'm like
Hmm.
after everybody clapped, I got down. I'm still in the seat shaking like. And then after that, I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I think I like this. Like, this is cool. And then I started coming to your events. I came to Love Jones.
That was a good one.
Um, and then I had an event. Um, and then you had a couple more events like in between that I just like popped in for. And your lives on Thursdays.
Hmm.
And then from there, I was just like, I think I found my niche finally. Like, I'm liking this. I'm liking this. So that's really you. You kind of kicked it off for me.
All right, that's it's not too much on me right now.
I'm
It's
just saying you kicked
about
it off
you.
for me.
You talking about me?
You know, you gotta have
You.
that one person that be like, yo,
We on
and
this.
you
Hmm.
was my yo.
Doing really well since then. Like the last, like I gotta say, the last time we did you me and poetry with the chocolate brown man or whatever that poem was, that was a hit. That was a big hit. And like watching you through the process, like you, the thing with you that I love about your poetry is that you get into your poems. You're very animated, like your personality comes through your poetry, and that's a skill. Like I didn't have that skill when I first started. So for you to have that talent at this stage in your poetic career, That's a very good trait to have. Cause like when I'm watching you perform, like you got this whole persona on, like you're just yourself. You're like, hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all doing good? We having a good time? All right, bet. You know what I'm saying? And like
Right.
it's through your creativity. So, you know, secondly, it's an honor to be able to like in the poetry space, they'd be like, we're gonna pop your poetic cherry, get people on stage. It's not my thing, but it's an honor to get people on stage for the first time. So for the fact that you did at that hip hop show, that was a funny event. I'll tell you that much. I had a little too much fun, but I'm glad that you got a chance to perform because like I did know that you were working with Mark Davis for a while. I think that's where I got exposed to your poetry for the first time.
Hmm.
And I think I just reached out and was like, "Hey, you should come to open mic. You should come to open mic." And next thing you know, boom, and we was at a couple events. Yeah,
Yeah,
we've been a crew for a minute now. All
we
right.
have. We have.
Um, so going off of all that, you said, you started off in high school, then it became more therapeutic, and then you became a blogger and stuff. Where would you say, trying to word this question, where would you say you had the most passion for poetry in those times? Because it sounds like you got three stages. So where would you say you had the most passion for it? Um, and where are you now?
I feel like currently,
Mm-hmm.
like I would say within the last year is where I found like genuinely found my passion for it. I feel like prior to that, it genuinely was for like therapeutic reasons, just to say like, I'm shutting down. I'm going through a hard time. I'm grieving. I'm momming without a mom. Like I need, like my person that I usually would talk to is no longer here, so I have to put it on paper
Mm-hmm.
and figure it out. And then when it was like, okay, cool, you have a voice. Like people actually care what you have to say. Like it's relatable. Like people are reaching out and they're like, yo, like I cried and read your poem 3 times, and I'm like, really? Like that's not what it was meant for, but I'm glad that you were able to get that off your chest, even if it was me saying it for you, kind of thing. So I feel like the last year of just being able to like write, to grow, to like meet like new people in the poetry world,
Mm-hmm.
um, is really like where I found my love for it. Where I was like, you know what, I think I could make this like my thing. Like I could write a book. I want to be an author. Like I want to travel the
Yeah.
world and do
Yeah.
open mics. Like you know what I mean. So I feel like it's been the last year to say like you can actually do it and you have a voice and it makes a difference. And that right there was just more so like, girl, just do it. Like you're fine.
You got
People
this.
aren't judging you, and if they are judging you, that's okay. Like it's okay for not everybody to love what I have to say.
Yeah, that's something that we all learn as poets. Is like there's a poet that I love that I hope you'll get a chance to meet her one time. She got this slogan saying, "You gonna get this poem." You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Lady Siren, and you got that persona, the energy. Like you gonna get this poem, whether you like it or
Right.
not.
You
So
can receive it.
you
Like,
gonna get something.
however,
You gonna get something. So
yeah, whatever you get is what you get.
going off that, you say you want to write a book. You do have a book, right? Tell us
Yes.
about your book. Tell us about the process. Tell us about the title of the book, and
Okay.
tell us your favorite poem in the book.
Okay. Um. So the name of my book is All the Words I Couldn't Say.
Okay.
And I came up with the title of the book basically to say like this is like literally like my trauma,
Mm-hmm.
my like love, my heartbreak, my growth, my like grieving process, like literally everything that I've never had the strength to say, whether it was like in the relationship, to the person who hurt my feelings, like a best friend, whatever. Like here it is in a book, and like unapologetically, like I'm gonna write it and share it, and let it just be that. Um, and honestly, I didn't know what I was doing. And I did another podcast with Trevita, and she's down in, I believe, South Carolina or North Carolina. She's in the down that way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she did like a mini interview, and she's like, so like, tell me a little bit about you. And I was like super nervous, and she's like, I'm like, I want to write a book, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna hold you accountable. Like you're gonna write a book,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, what? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you mean? And she's like, you're gonna write a book. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna write a book. And at that point, I had like maybe 15 poems in my iPhone, like notepad. And I was just like, I'm not doing shit with 15 poems. Like a book? Are you serious? And then every so often, like every couple of weeks or every couple of days, she's checking in. She's like, so what's up? What's going on with the book? Like, what's happening? And she's like, by the next time I have you come back onto my podcast, you're gonna give us a release date of your book. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And she's like, no, I'm serious. And she was like, the push, the mom I needed to be like, you got this, you're great. Like, believe in yourself, push yourself. And from there, I was like, okay, bet. Like, I don't know where to start, but I'm going to just write mad poems. I'm going to just do whatever. And then again, here I go. I'm like, I see you wrote a book. So I reached out to you. I'm like, Donnie, what's up? Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying to write a book. Can you help me? And I feel like you gave me all the tools. You're like, try this, try that, try this, try that. And also, Trivita gave me like a website, and a few of the ladies on her podcast gave like recommendations on like different places to try to publish my book myself and write my book myself, edit my book myself. So that was like, it took me forever. Like the whole summer, I'm like writing and editing and trying new things. And I was just like stressed out. After a while, I was like, I'm done, not doing it. And then here she goes again. And she's like, so when you releasing this book? And I'm like, shit, September 4th. And she's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, like that's the date. And I just knew in the back of my head, like, I'm never going to finish this book. Like, I'm never going to finish this book. But I did. I finished it. I published it on September 4th. And it actually did really well. Like, for my first book, it did really, really, really well. It made it onto the Barnes & Noble website, the online website. I'm on Amazon. I'm on Blurb. I'm actually in a couple of my local bookstores here, too. So I was, like, surprised with my first book. And it had, like, errors, and I had to keep fixing it, and I didn't know what to put on my freaking cover. I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm just winging it right now, and we're gonna pray for the best. And I did it. So I think my favorite poem in my book is probably Bulletproof Disaster.
Ooh.
It's Bulletproof Disaster. It was just like, I feel like I was going through like a lot of transitioning, and I was just like, fuck it. And I feel like that was like probably my first like raw poem. And I was just like, I'm gonna write it and do it. And then I put it in my book. And then your aunt had an event, and I did the poem there for the first time. And hearing it, like hear me saying it out loud, and for it to resonate with other people, I'm just like, okay, cool. And then I got a lot of people who read my book say like, yo, Bulletproof Disaster, like that's my favorite piece. Like, I don't know what you was going through, but I like it. I relate to it. And I'm just like, okay, well, I hope you don't have any bulletproof disasters in your life, but you know, so that's my favorite piece. That's definitely my favorite piece.
Bulletproof Disaster. I might make you recite that at some point.
Ooh, okay.
Might make you recite that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I wanted to ask you first off, did the Beehive come for you at any point in time since you released on September 4th? Because that's Beyonce's birthday, I'm pretty sure.
They did it honestly, but I was ready if they wanted to square up.
Not you ready to go against the whole Beehive. I don't recommend that. You know what I'm saying? But I can see that you got the energy to do so because you don't care about nothing. When you say you're gonna do something, you're gonna do it, and everybody can kiss. You know what?
Right.
I have a speech impediment, but so you said you got it on. The one thing that like I was so excited for you for was you got it on Barnes and Noble's website. Blurb I've heard of, but having it on Barnes and Noble for your first book, that's a beautiful thing. You gotta catch yourself on the back. I'm gonna clap for you for that one. You know what I'm saying? You know, I hope that you sell $150,000 copies. You become a New York Times bestseller. I'm talking really fast. I'm gonna slow down because sometimes I talk too freaking fast. But I was really excited for you and your journey because like I said, like as someone who's like for me, I've written 3 books, but I know each part of the process every single time. It's a vulnerable experience. And that first one is that help you gotta get over. It's like, will anybody like what I'm writing? Did I make any errors? Is this gonna sell? And then at a certain point, you're like, you know what? So long as I sell one book, I'm happy. I was able to tell my story, you know. And for you to get all those platforms in your first published work, I'm happy. I'm proud of you for that because that takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of energy and a lot of effort. And that journey that you talked about, like giving up and that pressure you felt on your back, like that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Especially for the words that you couldn't say. So,
Right.
you know, so that's a beautiful thing right there. Going off of that, I wanted to touch base with you on performing and being on the stage. Now that you got your feet wet, you know what I'm saying, got dabbled in it, what are the feelings that you go through when it comes to getting on stage? What was the best stage you've been on since you've been on stages? And if you say one of mine, I'm gonna be tight. Because oh.
Um,
Second part of the question, what's the stage you want to get on right now?
one of the best stages. Okay. So for me in my hometown, UPAC is really big.
Mm-hmm.
It's a theater. You know, there's a lot of famous people like Shaka Khan has been there. Um,
Ooh.
and I was invited to perform for um, a freedom event based around like our rights to be able to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was able to. I had a 5 minute like little stage time basically, where they basically said get as many poems as you can in 5 minutes, and I did three.
Ooh.
And the one video that I posted, like my friends were sharing it in their groups and they're like school settings and to the kids and like stuff like that. So that was a really big achievement for me. That's probably one of the, like the biggest things that I was like, you know, like I know that I'm making it in my path to want to be like a really great poet.
Mm-hmm.
And where I want to be, um, I just want to travel. Honestly, like I would love to be like in the Apollo,
Mm-hmm.
or like you know, I want to be on one of the big stages eventually and be like people like, yo, that's Antonya from New York, or like something like that. So I'm really pushing to like just travel, like get my name out there, like Philly, Atlanta, the city, even if it's close, like small places and work big. But that's my dream, really. It's like,
Gotcha. You definitely on your way. You know what I'm saying? You just got the one thing I've learned is like they people will embrace you wherever you go when it comes to poetry. Like people will embrace you, especially if you good, because you good. I tell you right now,
thank
you
you,
damn
thank
good. You know what I'm saying? Every time you get on stage, I'm like, oh, it's about to be an adventure. Here we go.
you.
Funny.
Every time.
Yep. So, um, now talk about when it comes to performing on stage. What are your initial feelings? Like, what is it? No, I already asked you that. My bad. Moving forward. All right.
I don't
So,
think I answered it though.
oh yeah. What are your initial feelings, and what do you think you need in order to like calm yourself down when it comes to being a poet?
Honestly, every time I'm always nervous. I'm like, I get the jitters. I have like my heart's racing, and I'm just like, shit. I'm about to go in front of all these people, um, and I tend to second guess
Mm-hmm.
what I'm writing, because like you said, I'm worried about are the people gonna like it, and sometimes there's gonna be a situation where it's like I have wrote the best poem that I could ever write, and there may not be people that like are like that could have been better. And I feel like once I get over that, I don't think I'll have the butterflies and
Mm-hmm.
the nervousness and the sweating, because my feet are wet. I have been on stages. I've been on big stages, and I'm still just as nervous. I'm still like I have to like take a deep breath, clench my pearls a little bit, and just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and do it unapologetically because I feel like I'm super comfortable, like with my friends, with you,
Mm-hmm.
with Leanna, like with the people from the Drip, people from Lucid Voices. Like now it's like, okay, like I know that you guys are gonna give me my flowers regardless, but I have to know that I'm in a safe space. Like you're cool. Like you're not being judged. You're not, if you mess up, it's okay. You guys are gonna like be like, yo, you got this. Like you're gonna be supportive regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I feel like sometimes we're not always used to that recognition or that safe space. So my biggest thing right now is just working on like not being so nervous so I don't sound like I'm rushing. Cause I don't want to just get through my poem. I wanna be able to say it and you guys like really be like, damn girl, like okay. And although you do, I feel like it could be a lot better if I wasn't like done, done, and
Yep.
I'm like out of there like peace. Cause that's really what it is. It's me being nervous. So I'm like, let me just get through this. Let me make it good and make it good one time so I can get off the stage. Although I want to be there. So it's weird because it's like, I'm excited to be there. I'm on the stage. I'm feeling, I'm like, yeah, you guys feeling good. And then I'm like, all right, see you guys later. And I'm done.
You know what I've learned, like, cause I get that same feeling, you just learn by watching other poets. It's like people are watching you, and it's your time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna go back to, you gonna get this poem, and I'm gonna probably owe that person some money after I say it again. But like, you get to a point where it's like, this is my time, and y'all gonna get what I give you, and you're gonna be all right. And after that, you time flows by so fast, but you feel like,
Yeah.
oh nah, like I was on there for mad long and I killed it. You don't even think like, oh, I gotta get off this stage. No, you start going, nah, I'm here.
Right.
Yeah, I'm here, and you have to deal with me. So figure it out.
Yeah. Pretty much.
You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm telling you, you get in there. You right there. Like I said, the last performance. Whoo.
Yeah, I was nervous because I was like, damn, I don't know if I want to do this poem. Like, I don't know. Like, I've never really done anything that was like, okay, here you go. Here's a little sexy for ya. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Here's a piece. And I wrote it and I felt good about it. And then I got, like you said, I got good feedback. I came off, the girl was like, okay, girl. And I was like, you know what I'm saying, girl? You know what I'm saying. So it felt good. But like you said, it was just kind of like, damn, like, just do it. Just get up there, just do your thing. And when it's over, it's over. You did it.
Whatever happens, happens. And more or less likely, you're going to get real positive feedback when you just into the poem. You know, because that's when people feel it more, you know. And like I said, you got the energy to make people feel what you're saying, you know, and that's important. Next question. I asked you what got you into poetry. Now I want to know, what does poetry mean to you?
Um, I feel like poetry means that I have a voice. Like, it just means that, like, I can be unapologetically me. I can say whatever I want to say and not be sorry about it. Um, and just like also give other people a safe space for like people who were in my place who weren't able to say certain things or didn't feel like they had the ability to say those things. Like, I feel like I give people a safe space to be vulnerable and just like, if even if I'm saying it, but they can relate, it's kind of like, girl, we said it together, like whatever. So I feel like it's my voice, like it's my safe space.
You safe space. It definitely is a good space. Yeah. Um. Okay. Two more questions. Um. Trying to add. What's a form of poetry that you want to explore? Like, what's something that caught your attention? He was like, you know what, I want to try that, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Erotic poetry. Okay.
Woo! Woo!
Now let me just say, I have written, but what I thought possibly could be a little erotic in my first book. I was like, yeah, girl, like. And then I like went to the Honey Dripper clubhouse room on Sundays, and I was like, I've never even touched erotic. And then even at my own event when I had like you, Logan, J Red Velvet, and I was like, and I felt like it wasn't an uncomfortable feeling. It was like, damn, like, okay, like I could, but I still have not gotten to that place where it's like, just do it, just write it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can write anything. Why are you so hesitant to write that? So I would love to attempt to write an erotic piece. And be up there with Quiet Storms and Mr. Arrows thing, you know. And I'm getting there, but it's not where I want it to be.
Listen, you are there. Okay?
You know.
You are there. Telling you literally right with us. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm pretty sure you probably gonna write one of the most funny ass erotic poems we ever gonna hear, because we
Cause
gonna
that's just me. Like, I feel like I can never be serious. And my mom's always like, girl, like, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna start wearing heels, like, you know, soft girl era. And she's like, you look like a linebacker, like you're too silly. You're too silly, like you don't do anything, like. And although I'm like, girl, like I look sexy, I know I'm walking like mad weird. So I know even when I'm writing erotic poetry, I'm like switching it very quickly. It's like, oh, it's very sexy, and then it's like, it's coming off a little. So I definitely have to do that. I know like Asean, he gave me a prompt of like you have to write an erotic you got a poem, and then he gave me like a prompt. And he's like, let me see what you do with it, and I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, bet. And he gave it to me, and I was like, nah, you can't touch my lady parts, and blah blah blah. And I was like,
Yo,
that's not erotic. I'm literally telling you, you can't touch my lady parts. Like,
but you know you
you know,
get
it's
creative
gonna
with
come.
you know it's good. Oh, first off, hey yo, it's gonna come.
Hey yo, it's gonna come, literally.
All right. Ah, shoot. So erotic poetry. Last question. All right. When it comes to you, me, and poetry, what is the first thing you think of? You
Family.
healing, you, me, and poetry.
Yes.
Thing healing.
Healing.
There we go.
Healing. I feel like healing, family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I don't know. I feel like y'all my family. Like you, me, and poetry is like. I look forward to the events. I look forward to seeing like in the little group chat we have like where people are sharing their poems or like we're going back and forth. We're giving each other prompts. We're supporting each other. Like I feel like it's like if you're not there, like what are you doing? Like
Mm-hmm.
you're missing greatness for real because I was missing greatness prior to being a part of greatness. You know what I mean? So I feel like I feel like it's healing. It's family. It's like you got to be a part of it, and if you're not, you're truly missing out. Like you're truly
Mm-hmm.
missing out.
Got snap to that. All right. Well, that was all the questions I had. This was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Getting to dive into who you are as a poet, as a creative person. Especially learning about your process with your book. Do you have any other books coming out?
I do. So I'm
Oh,
currently working on my second book.
oh,
It is titled "Sincerely Yours."
okay.
And it's basically formatted to be in a bunch of love letters to say like how you can be so in love with somebody that you can either lose yourself or genuinely fall in love and be sincerely theirs. You're willing to give them your everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's really what my book is based on. Um, and honestly, I'm looking to have it published before December 7th. So
You about to have it published before? Wow. Okay, now.
yeah, I've been working on it.
Mm-hmm.
I just added some like couple other odds and ends that I wanted to fix and tweak just to make sure that it was something I truly fell in love with. Obviously, because my first book was like my first book, and my second book I know a lot more, so I could put a lot more into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just really just like in the like correcting process, like spell
Mm.
check and the little things, and I think I'll be done. I think by like maybe mid next week I'll be like done and ready to say like,
There you go.
here's my second book.
There you go,
Bam.
motherfucker. All right. Let's plug in your socials real quick before you drop this poem. Tell us where we can find you. Tell us
Okay.
what's coming up next for you. And we gotta do a plug with you also. So Antonia is going to be the captain for our next event for Team Nice. So we're doing Lucid Voices Presents along with the Honey Drippers in the Fuse Box Presents You, Me, and Poetry, Naughty or Nice. She is steering the ship. She got some nice poems, but that don't mean she's not naughty. You know what I'm saying? But that's not you gotta show up to the event. It's $20 at the door. Check out Team Nice's captain, Antonia. She might have a book there. She might have other things there. We don't know. You know what I'm
you
saying?
know,
Moving
just
on.
just come and find out.
Just come
Because
and
my team is coming with the smoking gun. I just want to let you guys know.
find.
Naughty better bring their A game because nice.
Ooh. You heard that, Team Naughty? You
We
heard
coming
that?
with our A game. Period.
They ain't playing nice, even though they call nice. I don't know what
We
to tell
not.
you.
We not. We
All
bringing
right.
the boxing gloves.
Ooh. Oh, it's gonna be one. It's gonna be one.
It's gonna be a good night.
$20 at the door. You could also cash up us right now. But it's not about us, it's about you. Tell us where to find you.
You guys can find me on Facebook as Antonia Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also on Instagram as Nia NYAA underscore Renee RENEE underscore. And those are just my socials. That's what I be on. So check
That's what
me
I.
out. You know.
All right. Drop us this poem.
All right. Okay. So quick backstory. I was on Honey Dripper,
Mm-hmm.
the on Clubhouse, their little like Sunday poetry room, and I always pop in. Muhavi's always like, "Yo," he's sending me the links, and they always usually put a prompt. There, it's either based around a theme or they'll give a prompt 9 times out of 10, I just take the prompt and I'm writing like while they're in their thing and everybody's spitting their poems. So they did a feature. They were honoring Yoshi. That was my first time actually being able to hear her. And her prompt was, I don't have time to shenanigan again. I don't have time to shenanigan again. I believe that's what it was. So that is my poem. It doesn't have a title, but that is the one I'm going to read.
All right, we ready for it. Let's do it.
Ready? You ready? You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Right. I don't have time to shenanigan again. I've already given you every word and wound I could mend. I've used every pencil and pen to explain to you the depth of my sincerity. Sincerely, I don't have time to waste this energy again on women or men that don't have intentions to spend time on me, with me, for me. Even when I'm bending knee, I don't think you could heal the little girl in me. Tragically, that little piece of hope I carried like a cherished secret has faded into a distant memory. The grown woman in me says this humbly, pray with me, sit with me, just see me. Then it's safe to say you're safe to lay with me, but I don't need to be affirmed by someone whose heart is already being occupied. Access denied, permission not granted. I'm too old to be bumping souls with someone who will intentionally take me for granted. I don't have time to shenanigan again. I already have a late night number that I can call and bump and grind and waste time. This grown ass woman is seeking for a peace of mind, not a body to just climb on and hold on for the ride. Because I already know what this ocean can provide, but deep down I long for more than just a fleeting tide. I want a partner who can read between the lines, who listens with her heart and offers genuine guidance. Someone who values the journey alongside me, not just the destination I seek. Someone who offers gentle kisses to my cheek. So I'll say this again and again and again. I don't have time to shenanigan again. Not with you or with them, because I deserve more than a temporary friend. Instead, I yearn for love that will truly extend beyond the horizon, where promises don't bend. So I'll continue to write the story until it finds its end. I don't have time to shenanigan again. Poem.
So I know what this ocean do. All right now. Okay. Nasty.
You guys flip that in there.
Talk about you not an erotic poet. You're nasty. That's your problem.
I'm working on it though. I'm working. It's like a subtle nasty. It's like,
yeah.
Boom.
You know what it is though? It's you got to ease people into it. That's what I like watching. Like Kareem. I'm not gonna say Logan because Logan is
nasty.
Nasty. But Kareem is very subtle with it. You know what I'm saying?
Is.
Very, and it's like, whoa, he just said that. You got that little flavor, like, oh, you just say that ocean?
Yeah, because some of the stuff that he be saying, I'd be like, did he just say something nasty?
Right over your head.
He definitely just said something nasty.
A couple lines he got that I'm like, that's in my notebook because you thought you was slick, and I'm gonna get back to you.
No, like mental note, and then I gotta think about it. Like he definitely just said, oh, he was talking about the ass. Like, okay, so
I'm gonna get him back on live, but that was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? The talent that you have is amazing. I promise you that you're gonna really do some spectacular things, especially because you're gonna drop her second book before the end of this year. God damn, you on fire.
I'm working. I'm trying to be great.
You already are great. You gotta put that in your head. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I'm trying to be the greatest version of myself, though. I feel like I'm a good version of myself, but I'm trying to be the greatest version of myself.
And I love that, man. That's all we can strive for, is be the best possible selves we can be. So that's the interview. Shout out to Antonya. She is captain of Team Nice. We're gonna see her on December 7th if you're looking for her at the Fuse Box. But you can also find her on Instagram and Facebook at Antonya Barnes or Nia_Renee. Nia, thank you so much for being on here with me. My cat decided to just hijack the entire thing. Hello to Luna, you know what I'm saying?
Hi, Luna. Oh my God, I used to have a dog named Luna.
Oh, it's so cute. All right, you want to be in the video, now you're not. All right, that's it. Bye, y'all. We had a good time. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here at Lucid Voices. Nia, we will see you soon.
Peace.
All right.